Welcome, everybody, to the College Football Prediction Show. We are at the ultimate weekend in college football. It's Monday night at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The Michigan Wolverines will battle the Washington Huskies to take home college football's biggest trophy. This is the last season of the 14 playoff. Next year, we go to 12. And if we look back at what we saw this past weekend, probably the four best teams were there. I still think Florida State deserved a shot. I don't think what happens when you're missing 30 guys tells you anything what would have happened if Florida State would have been in the Final Four to play a Michigan State or a Texas or a Washington. But I think also what we saw is the emergence of Michael Penix, possibly as a top 10 draft pick. He's a guy that I think because of two knee injuries, people kind of downgrade him a little bit. He's a lefty. How many great left-handed quarterbacks have we seen in the entirety of the NFL? So this game, Michigan is favored by 4.5 points. And to me, that's an awful lot in this game. And Washington has been the underdog the last 3 times they have played. They were the underdogs against Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. They won and dominated that game. They beat Texas, and they were the underdogs in the game against Texas by 4.5 points. So right now the over-under is 55.5, which I think a lot of people are banking on the Michigan defense being able to shut things down. But remember, Michigan did give up points when they played Ohio State, which was the best offensive team they played. Washington's got 4 insane weapons at wide receiver, and Michael Penix throws a deep ball as good as any college football quarterback I've ever seen. So when we look at this matchup, I think what we've got here is a game that is very closely contested. It's going to be won in the trenches. Now, when these two teams meet in this title game, it'll be the first time that we haven't had an SEC champion in this game. No SEC team. We've got Washington versus Michigan. We got Penix against J.J. McCarthy. McCarthy, to me, I don't think looked that great. And the other issue that you had was the special teams for Michigan, which was a mess. I think what you'll see here is the Huskies, like they did against Texas, they need to get off to a fast offensive start. That will be helped, I think, because Ohio State has not faced a team that plays like the Washington Huskies do. Now, on the other side, Washington has not played a run-first team in the Pac-12 this season or against Texas. They've not played a run-first team. And Michigan basically wants to still go 3 yards at a cloud of dust like it's 1970s in the Big Ten. Now, a fast offensive start for Washington could cause major issues for Michigan because Michigan, Blake Corum in that running game, they have to run behind that because J.J. McCarthy is a good quarterback, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to put the team on his back and take him to the finish line in this. Now, the Wolverines dominated the line of scrimmage in the Rose Bowl against Alabama in the first half, and they dominated in the second half too. It was Michigan's own mistakes, especially on special teams, that kept Alabama in that game and gave Alabama a chance to win at the end. Now, Washington's path to victory is Penix and that quartet of wide receivers must play well. And it has potential to match Michigan's run game output with Dylan Johnson. Now, Dylan Johnson, we saw him get hurt Monday night in the semifinal, but it looks like they're saying right now he will play. Now, Michigan is finally in the place that is dreamed of for the last 3 seasons. They just missed. They got blown out by Georgia 2 years ago. They lost a close heartbreaker to TCU last season. So Michigan is finally at the finish line. Can they get it through? I'm going to tell you this. My prediction is this is going to be a close football game. The 4.5 points automatically makes me take Washington because to me, this point spread shouldn't be more than 3 points either way. Washington's offense could go to head-to-head with any program in the country. And his defensive showings over the last 2 games proved it could compete on that side of the ball, even if you're facing a strong run-first offense. Now, they could get after the passer, but the big thing I think here is Washington's got the best offensive line in the country. It's better than Alabama's offensive line. Michigan was able to penetrate Alabama's offensive line, get a lot of off-schedule plays, which I mean is you'd be 1st and 10, you go back to pass, next thing you know, 2nd and 19 because you got sacked. I don't think that's going to happen here. I think Michael Penix gets it done. I think the Washington Huskies win this game, guys. I think the best thing to do here is click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Go to BetMGM. Place your money on Washington at plus 4.5. I'll also tell you this. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus 165 for the Huskies to win this game straight outright. And I'm probably going to tend towards the over because I think Michigan will be able to score points with that running game. I think they're still going to be able to get big gains, but I think Washington at that deep ball wins this game. I think the final score will be the Washington Huskies 34, the Michigan Wolverines 31. The Washington Huskies win the first national championship since 1991. That's my pick. I'm sticking with it. Little purple rain going on down in Houston this coming Monday night. Bet the Huskies. All right, guys, remember, BetMGM for your best bet for betting on college football and the NFL. And of course, the last weekend of the NFL season comes up tonight. If you're watching this, it's Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Thursday night tonight at 7 o'clock. The NFL betting show with myself, Dan Kornhauser, and Steve Risley will be back to look at all the Week 18 games. Follow us on Twitter at Grueling Truth. But guys, for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.